You know what always makes me happy is a dog sticking his head out the window, just living his best life, enjoying himself. So, hey guys, I'm going to do an intro here in the drive-through of what I'm going to call Thanksgiving. I think I might have done this last year at some point. It's going to be Thanksgiving, Hallmark Thanksgiving Week Review-A-Palooza, because I'm going to smash all 8 movies. And for some reason, I kept walking around thinking there were only 7 movies, but no, there were 8 movies into one video. Do I expect anybody to sit there and watch all 8 of my reviews? No. But this, for simplicity's sake, because I want to get these all out. I've watched them all. Excuse me, I've only reviewed one of them. I've already filmed that review. And so now today I'm going to film the other 7. But I'm going to go ahead and do my intro here. And then maybe later today, because I care about my audience, I am going to put on some makeup and use my ring light and act like I'm a professional, and then try to film some of the videos that way. But since I'm in the drive-thru and had to wait, I figured I'd go ahead and do this intro. So we will go ahead and start with the one that I already filmed, which is for Christmas Under the Lights. Here we go. I'm also going to probably, if I have time, make some other reviews in this drive-thru if they're ones that are going to be really short, because there might be some that are really short because my memory is terrible, as you know. And I watched these movies like a week ago. And so, yeah, we might just do that. Okay? All right, here we go. Christmas Under the Lights. Hello there. I, would love to put some makeup on for you guys and brush my hair and stuff, but I just finished this movie and I want to talk about it right now because it snuck up on me and made me fall in love with it, and it's called Christmas Under the Lights. I went into this thinking, okay, this is Thanksgiving week. This is the first one for Thanksgiving week. We got 7 movies in one weekend, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 new movies are going to come out, and I'm just like, okay, this is the first one. And I like Heather Hemmings. She was in the movie with Luke McFarlane from a few years ago. I really like her. The main guy, I just saw his name and I forgot it already because that's what I do. His name is actually, maybe I can tell you what his name is real quick here. It's Marco Grazzini. He was I'd seen him before in a movie a few years ago. I'm thinking I just saw the movie poster when I was looking him up on IMDb, and I think it was Janelle Parrish, and he's like a chef. And the thing is, the two of them are absolutely gorgeous, stunning, sexy people. And their chemistry, in my opinion, from pretty much the get-go, is off the charts. Maybe the best chemistry I've seen so far this season. So that, I think, is what drew me in, because this to me was kind of it's not a movie where it's this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. It's kind of it's not that it's slow, because it isn't slow, but how can I explain this? Or what should I tell you to make you think you should watch this? Well, first of all, there's stuff in here about her missing her mom, grieving her mom who's passed away earlier this year, wishing that she'd spent more time with her, wishing that she'd come home more to visit, stuff like that. And it had me crying because I miss my mom. It's going to be 11 years in January. I miss her every day. And while dealing with not having your mom your day-to-day, it totally gets easier, but the pain never goes away. You're never the same. As I've said many times, you don't get over it, you get through it, right? And then you're just kind of a different person if you're someone who's real close to your mom, like I was. And so totally had me crying. But it's a really beautiful, important message about prioritizing your family, and but at the same time about how your mom is there's this great scene where Marco's character is talking about like light and how light works, and how once you turn off a light and how it's still on the wall, or something like particles of energy and stuff like this. And it's a great little conversation that they have where, he's saying, I don't know how you feel and I don't know what you believe, but like, your mom's still here kind of thing, which is one of those things that I love to think. So that stuff just really hit me, and like the best, in the best way. And then, oh God, what was I going to say? Yeah, okay, so let me just talk about what the movie's about, okay? So, Heather Hammond's character, Emily, is working as like a party, I think she's like a party planner, mostly kind of thing, in LA, and there's lots of flashbacks that show that like she and her little brother, who's played by, I don't remember this actor's name, but he's been in a ton of stuff and he was great in this. Like they live with their mom in an apartment in Seattle, and their dad has passed away, and mom gets this farm that's like 2 hours away, and she doesn't want to go. And it shows like, how when she was making it hard on her mom, and like when, she would say that she's going to run away, and the way her mom handled that by saying, hey, do you want me to make you some macaroni and cheese and stuff? It's just their relationship. Like, I really like them showing like a kid being like, not that you want to see a kid having a tough time, but it's hard to be a kid, especially like when you're going through stuff and you give your parents a hard time. And I loved like seeing that because it's very realistic. And anyway, mom and their family would do this Christmas carnival because they had this farm and with these alpacas and stuff. There is a line in this movie that involves the alpacas that comes toward the end of the movie that is said by this just random side character. That is one of the funniest lines that I've heard all season long. But anyway, but she comes home to visit her brother and to help with the carnival, because I think she feels badly about the fact that, their mom is gone and stuff like that. And, what was I going to say? And she wasn't really, I don't think, looking forward to coming home because of all the memories and stuff like that. But this, Marco's character is a friend of the brothers, and he's there just like looking for a change of scenery. Oh, one of the things that kills me, and I would like everybody who makes Hallmark movies, I guess this message is to all the people who make Hallmark movies, and then I know a lot of these actors are from Canada because they do a lot of movies in Canada, but I just want to send a message to everybody as somebody who has lived in the Bay Area my entire life. Not in San Francisco. I'm suburban through and through, but I live in the Bay Area. And there's no one in the Bay Area or San Francisco who would ever call it San Fran. It's not a thing. It is not said. It is not. No, it's San Francisco. You might say SF or something like that. But it's never San Fran. Okay. So he, I guess, had lived there and had been married, and then they broke up, and he's an artist, but he's kind of trying to find his way and stuff. And that's another thing about this movie, is that both of them are kind of like trying to, find their way. And anyway, when they first meet, they have one of those meet cutes where they don't like each other at the beginning, but then, how that is. She's convincing him that he should work on his art, and as, they grow closer and stuff, he's saying maybe she should come here because she maybe wants to start her own business. And then she feels like she can't leave LA, because then she says something like then all of that time would have been wasted that I spent in LA. And what I love about that is that obviously it's not that it's wasted time, it's all part of your journey, right? Like, even if you, trying something, even if it doesn't work out the way you think, not that this is the case for her, but trying something, even if it doesn't work out the way that you think it's going to work out or that you want it to work out, doesn't mean it's a waste of time, right? Or like me, like being married to somebody, with the marriage not working out, obviously that's not a waste of time. That was part of the journey. Or when you have relationships that, you know, any kind of something that, any kind of failures or any kind of things where you wind up feeling like, well, nothing came of that at the end, but it did, because it served some purpose for you. So it's, I that's one of them. I'm not saying that they were saying, oh, this is a message for the movie, but I'm saying that's what it made me think of, and I think that that's a great thing to think about. So anyway, the point is, I'm giving this 5 iced peppermint mochas because it gave me feels. I loved looking at those two for an hour and a half. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I did not at all, at the beginning, I thought that it was going to wind up, you know, that it was just, I don't know. Went in with very low expectations, and it surprised the hell out of me. And I enjoyed it immensely, and I would love to know what you guys thought about it. And I'm going to put on the one that came on last night, the new Mrs. Miracle one with Rachel Boston, who I love, and I hope it's as good as the Caroline Rhea Mrs. Miracle one from a few years ago. And then, I don't know, at some point today, maybe I'll start posting some reviews. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know, please, what you think. And I'll be back. I cannot believe I forgot. There is an amazing cameo in this movie. Fantastic. It's great. So, just be on the lookout for that. Okay? Thanks again. All right. Now for real. Bye. Joyful Mrs. Miracle, guys. Okay, so here's the problem. I don't even think I've seen any of the Mrs. Miracle movies except for the one with Caroline Rhea, who I love, and I loved that movie. I love Rachel Boston. Like, I really enjoy her. I love it when she shows up in something. Cookie Catastrophe was, like, in my top whenever that came out last year or the year before. And so, super disappointed to say that, like, not a fan of this movie. That is not Rachel Boston's fault. I think Rachel Boston has potential to be a good Mrs. Miracle. There's an energy about, or Mrs. Merkel, as she's called in the movies, because she's got this certain kind of energy about her that I think you need for that character. But at the same time, I also want to see her, because the Mrs. Miracle character isn't going to be the person who she's facilitating stuff, right? She's an angel. This isn't a spoiler, because anybody who's watching Hallmark movies knows what the deal is here with Mrs. Merkel. Okay. So, I enjoy her, though, when she's like, the main character, when she's in a love story or something, because even though I probably got top billing in this, I imagine, because she's the biggest name in this one. I was sad that it wasn't a whole movie about her, because the main love story, the actor, the male lead, I just wasn't a fan of his at all. Like, the opposite. To me, he was the opposite of a Rizzler, which, like, Riz is charisma. Like, this is something that, I was going to say that the kids say, but maybe the fact that I know it means that it's probably not even that cool anymore. But hold on one sec. Okay, Joyful Mrs. Miracle continued. I think that what would happen is that any kids who would watch this, who would still talk about Riz or call somebody the Rizzler, will see this 54-and-a-half-year-old lady wearing a Christmas shirt, talking about Hallmark movies, using the term, and then decide it wasn't cool anymore, which would be fair. Anyway, in my opinion, no charisma whatsoever. Just couldn't get into it at all. It has nice moments about family, because it involves these siblings who have to figure out how to fill the board seat that's been left open by their grandmother who passed away, who raised them. I like the relationship between the female lead and her kid who suffers from like anxiety and stuff. And I like that they talked about that because it's like such a real thing, especially in this day and age, for kids to have to deal with shit like that. What else? That's about it. Because honestly, this movie, in my opinion, was instantly forgettable. And I'm sad about it because, again, I really like Rachel Boston. And so I'm going to give this a 2.75 as far as my iced peppermint mochas go. So, and I had to remind myself again about like what my ratings mean. And I think like one was like nobody should watch this movie unless you are like me and you have to do this project. And then 2 is like it's a movie. And then 3 is like it is a movie and it's pretty good, and you could still probably like decorate your tree or wrap presents while you're watching it, but you know, it's fine. So this isn't, in my opinion, even that, because I would put something else on while I was wrapping my presents. So we're going to go 2.75 on that, and yeah, it's a bummer. Anyway, let me know what you thought about that too. I'm going to say that probably about everything else today, and I'm going to go home and finish the rest of everything. Let's start with the one that I just watched, which was The Christmas Quest. I was really looking forward to this one because we've got Chris Palaha and Lacey Chabert, and there's a quest. And I love a quest, like, you know, an Indiana Jones or solve a mystery or something like that. And this is one that I am thinking maybe I need to go and watch this again. Maybe I didn't watch this at the right time because much like the Holiday Touchdown movie, I had trouble getting into it, and at times would be like, but you know what, in the movie's defense, because, well, and in my defense, when something doesn't start to grab me kind of right away, I tend to sort of put on start playing with some Animal Crossing, because I am working on my Animal Crossing islands, and I'm a little bit obsessed with it. And a lot of times with these movies, just the same way I'll tell you, you can wrap your presents, you can fold your laundry, whatever, you can also play your Animal Crossing. So there would be times where I'd be doing something in Animal Crossing and I would look up and I would be like, I don't understand what is going on right now. And so it's possible that I just didn't pay enough attention to the movie. It's entirely possible that I didn't. But there were things that I really liked about this movie. I would watch Chris Palaha do absolutely anything. If it was literally just a movie of him sitting there folding his laundry, I would watch the movie. So there's that. And I do love Lacey. I really like the guy who played her friend in Iceland. Oli, I think was his name. I really enjoyed him. And weirdly, I think I like the last 5 minutes of this movie like a lot more than I liked the rest of the movie. And I kind of wish the whole movie had been more Oli and this other character in there that I'm not going to mention, if that character had figured in here more, because I can't really say much more without doing a spoiler kind of thing. But while I love all of these, like I love these components, as a movie, there was something about it that didn't work for me. And I am giving that full disclosure and saying, like, maybe it was me, maybe I'm too distracted. But, you know, I'm going to say for right now, because, I mean, I love that we've got another, you know, location shoot. That's fantastic. Chris is always good. Lacey's always good. And I think there's a good movie in there. I'm really going to knock myself for this, and I will give it another chance at some point. But for right now, I've got to have it be like a I'm going to have to give it a 3.5. And that is mostly going to be based on just the acting, the production value, and the scenery. And it was cool to see, there was one character in there, the guy who basically is going to like fund this quest that her mom had started. And that's a complicated thing too. But anyway, but I recognize him from my show Happy Valley, which is the exact opposite of Hallmark because it's not happy. It does take place in Valley, but it is not happy at all. It's a crime show and it's amazing. But he's from that show. Anyway, so I liked him. I'm just gonna go 3.5 iced peppermint mochas, and I'm gonna stop talking about that one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's do Holiday Touchdown, a Chief's Love Story, guys. The star power alone on this would have made me think this was like automatically going to get a 5. That it was automatically going to get 5 iced peppermint mochas. It didn't. It didn't get 5 iced peppermint mochas. I'm not even sure at this point if I'm going to do a 3 or 3.25 or 3.5. So let me explain why. Tyler Hynes, obviously, is one of the best that we have on the Hallmark as far as, like, he's got that charisma. Now, some could argue that Tyler Hynes is often the same guy, like, over and over. But those of us who enjoy Tyler Hynes, I don't think really care about that. But then there are exceptional, Tyler Hynes performances, like Unexpected Christmas, for example, comes to mind. And in this movie, like, I don't know that there's anything wrong with his performance so much as it's not... Guys, I was bored by this movie, and my mind, I am struggling to understand fully why, and I feel like there's something wrong with me, because, again, I want to say that the writer, because I follow her on Instagram, is like Julie Sherman Wolfe, and that she's done a bunch of Hallmark stuff. So there's that. And then we have Hunter King, who was so great last year in Santa Summit, one of my top 5. We have Diedrich Bader, who is like from, he's not only do I remember him from Drew Carey's show, he's in Office Space, I believe, which is a fantastic movie from the 90s. He's also a voice actor and does Batman a lot, because taking over the mantle from Kevin Conroy. This is a nerd thing, sorry. I love me some DC cartoons, who passed away, R.I.P. to the greatest Batman voice actor ever. And then the lady who plays, so he plays Hunter King's dad, which makes me feel really old, but that's okay. And the lady who plays his wife is from a show called Grounded for Life that had Donal Logue on it, which I'm not even sure how many episodes I saw of that, but I really like her, and I really like him, and I really like that show. And then, as her parents, we have, as the grandparents, because I can't remember who belongs to who, I'm having trouble, Christine Ebersol, who's been around for ages, is a great actress, so much fun to see her. The guy who plays her husband, you would totally recognize, I cannot remember his name. And then we have Ed Begley freaking Jr. Ed Begley Jr., guys. I had to show my kid a picture of, this is how Ed Begley Jr. looked when I first saw Ed Begley Jr. on St. Elsewhere a million years ago, but Ed Begley Jr., who, by the way, I went and looked him up on the socials and stumbled across something. His daughter has an Instagram, and she posts some great stuff with just Ed Begley and his wife, and with her, like, just family stuff. It is like a lot of fun. So if you're an Ed Begley fan, go look him up, and you'll see her stuff, because it'll be like on his page, okay? And he's just a great person. Like, he took a public transit to the Oscars with his daughter. His wife was like, no, I'm riding in a car. But, like, that's the kind of activist he is for, and has been for a billion years, for the environment and stuff. But he's just a great guy, and I love him. Like, he shows up, I'm like, oh my God, Ed Begley Jr. is in a Hallmark movie. This is amazing, right? Guys, that should have been enough to make this a 5. And yet I found myself like, I loved seeing all of them. And I love the leads, so I don't understand why it was that I was so, like, not into this movie the way that I wanted to be into this movie. I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. You know, and I feel for the movie in that this is the one that obviously got the hugest hype. Like, this is the one where they did the red carpet, the Kansas City experience thing, the Hallmark, whatever. Like, there's a whole bunch of, you know, hype around this movie. So, but I don't think it's a matter of even like, because I'm not a football person, and I know there's also going to be excitement because I know Travis Kelsey, whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Taylor Swift's boyfriend. I do like his mom because she has a cameo in this movie. She's also in another one of the movies. I'm completely blanking on which other one it was that she was in, but she seems like a doll. And this movie does have like nice moments, especially when it has to do with Ed Begley Jr., whose wife has passed away, and there's stuff like that has to do with that is really sweet. But like, I didn't care at all about the love story. I didn't care about when the little conflicts that came up or anything. Like, I didn't believe that Tyler Hines would have this job working for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, guys, help me out. This one is really kind of troubling me. But because, you know, when you go in and you're just like, I really want to like this. But again, this wouldn't even be the movie that I was the most hyped for, I would say. Like, I think I was more excited about the time travel movie because I love time travel, which I like better than this. Or, I'm trying to think, you know, that Chris Palaha was going to be in a movie. Anyway, so it isn't even like I was bringing all my hype, but it's Tyler Hines. And yeah, I'm talking for 7 minutes and just basically saying I don't understand why I didn't like this movie enough, I guess. So I'm just going to stop for now, and we're just going to say it's going to land at I would love to know what other people think about this movie. I've been dying to finally film my review so I could go listen to my boys at Deck the Hallmark, because they're always because between the three guys, and they have guests on the show too, there's such a great barometer of, like, since Dan goes into these movies and his thing is that he hates these kinds of movies. And so if you get Dan to like actually kind of remotely like a movie, you know, that is some good stuff, right? Where Bran is just like, he loves this stuff and is a sucker for this stuff. And then, you know, Brian, who's down the middle. So I cannot wait to listen to them and see what they think about this movie, because, yeah, I'm super curious. I haven't wanted to listen to anybody's take until I filmed mine. So, anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I don't even know where I'm landing on this. The thing is, the combo of Tyler Hines, Dietrich Bader, that lady whose name I can't remember, but I love, Christine Ebersol, Ed Begley Jr., those all give it, like, at the very least, an extra quarter to a half of an iced peppermint mocha. So this is going to land between 3 and 3.5. And when I wind up putting everything together, I'll figure it out. So I'm going to stop talking. Okay, I just drove to my house and I listened to Deck the Hallmark. And guys, Dan loved this movie. It sounds like he's going to say that this is his favorite movie of the year. And so I feel like I could be broken. I feel like I don't know what's wrong with me. It's making me feel like I'm a Grinch, and I don't have, you know, like that my heart needs to grow 3 sizes to love this movie or something. Or maybe it is just because I have like no sports stuff at all, because it seems like they really like the idea about the legacy of the hat, you know, the magic hat and the importance of that. And so I don't know. I don't know. I could be broken. These things are subjective. not everything's going to be for everybody. You know, my top of the year, yeah, it's not this. So, oh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say that, like, I went there to see if I could get some validation, and I didn't. But ultimately, here we go. At the end of the day, your opinion is your opinion. You don't need validation of your opinion. Your opinion is just your opinion, and that's all it is. And you know what they say about opinions. You can go Google it, because I won't say it here. It's a family show. Anyway, okay, on to whatever the next thing is. Okay, I'm back. Let's do 90s Christmas. I really enjoyed this movie. I love Chandler Massey. It was fun to see the lead actress, whose name I don't remember, but her name on the garage sale mystery movies with Lori Loughlin was Hannah, because I was like, where do I know her from? And she was in all the garage sale mystery movies, which I loved and watched all of. So, you know, because she was a teenager playing her daughter, and now she's grown up. So, I enjoyed her a lot in this movie. I love time travel. This is not going to be a spoiler, but this is a one of those, you know, go back in time and fix stuff movies, right? But of course, the person who facilitates this time travel, let's just call her an angel type person, is she was in Everything Christmas last year, and she was also in Godwink Christmas that I loved reviewing so much. I will try to remember to put a picture of that one up there. Miracle of Love, I believe it is. That movie is so bonkers and was so much fun to watch. Not fun to watch. It was hard to, it was a struggle to watch, but it was so much fun to review. Anyway, she keeps telling her, like, don't change stuff. But of course, what she really means is do change stuff. But she has to let her figure out that instead of winding up being the successful lawyer where she is actually she needs to figure out how she is actually supposed to wind up. And you know from the start how everything is going to go. But in spite of that, I absolutely loved being in this movie. It's the 90s references, of course, with people being afraid of Y2K. I remember it very well because I was 29 years old at the time. And I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there was stuff that I felt like I might have even taken notes, but all I'm going to tell you, I'm going to watch this movie because I love this movie. I'm going to give it 4.5 Ice Peppermint Mochas. Chandler Massey, I want to see in something every year. They have put him in, there's at least one that made the bottom of my list, I feel like, that Chandler Massey was in. But that Next Stop Christmas I absolutely loved. I loved the one with him last year. And, oh God, with the blonde, and she's like a marine biologist type person, and I really like her. And I'm just, oh my God, her name is right there. But he's on a roll right now, in my opinion, and I want to see him every Christmas on Hallmark. That would be great. Yeah, it's super fun. It's got some really sweet stuff in it about family and grieving and loss and how people deal with loss, on top of it just being like a fun time travel movie. And then I always have that weird thing this has happened in so many movies before, where you know, when you make that the character is now in a completely different place in life, but it's almost like they've missed the last 25 years of their life, but they really didn't. It just got fast forwarded. And I know it's just a movie, Jen, it's a movie, it's fantasy, it doesn't matter, don't break your brain. But I always think, that's kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. 4.5. Okay, next. Deck the Walls. Wes Brown. He's so damn adorable. I love him. I was really looking forward to this one, actually, because Danny Pellegrino, who gets a story credit on this, it says based on a story by, was on Deck the Hallmark talking about it, and like he's a fan of these movies, and he acts in the movie as the main character's brother. And of course, I come and I don't remember anybody's name, but she was also in that movie with Andrew Walker where she like bumps her head when she, one of those amnesia movies that I really, I really liked with her and Andrew Walker. Anyway, oh my god. But this is one of Danny Pellegrino is he plays her brother who is running the family's like house building contractor business type of thing in their hometown, and she has left their hometown and is an interior designer, and he wants her to come home to help him and Wes Brown, who's working with him, to do this house flip that's for charity because it's going to be for the principal of the school who is a widower, and he's got kids and they've got kids and they need a bigger place and stuff. So it's going to be one of these kind of things. And she doesn't want to come home. And we realize, later that one of her resistance is because there's lots of memories of like her parents and stuff like that. So another movie that is dealing with grieving and loss and things like that. And she and Wes Brown have this antagonistic relationship, and we don't really get at first why that is, but we find out later, that it's that this is, again, not going to be a spoiler, and you can see it coming from a mile away, but she had a crush on him, and, he was with somebody else. He wound up getting married, blah, 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 whatever, Anyway, doesn't matter because obviously they're going to wind up getting together. And Wes Brown is just adorable. He's really one of my favorites. I enjoy him like in anything. He is just a lot of fun. Danny Pellegrino was fun in this role. I love that there's a little that he winds up healing some old wounds and based on some misunderstandings of stuff that happened with this other character in the movie, and that's fun. And I love their aunt. I want to say it's Aunt Gigi, and we know who this lady is. I absolutely adore her. Aunt Gigi is great. Everybody should be so lucky to have an Aunt Gigi. I'm an orphan. I would love Aunt Gigi to adopt me. And so the family stuff is really sweet, and the romance is great. I think that they have great chemistry, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I look forward to watching it again. I'm going to give it a 4.5. 4.5 iced peppermint mochas because it's, silly and fun and funny, and I really dug it a lot. Okay. What's next? Believe in Christmas. So I saw Megan Ori was going to be in a Christmas movie, and I enjoyed that the show with her and the late great Treat Williams, and I didn't drink enough coffee and I'm completely blanking on what the name of it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. The Chesapeake Shores. Okay. So, but last year she was in a movie that I think came in either last or second to last on my list. The one about where she was like a shopper person with her and Christopher Russell. And so I was worried. And when this movie started, I was worried because it seemed like the writing was reminding me of like some sort of like, I want to call them like Hallmark movies, but like if you bought them off of like Temu, or Hallmark movies if you got them off of like Wish, if that's still a thing, where they're these low budget movies that they're not Hallmark movies, but they're in that same vein that will just wind up being like on Amazon or something. Like there's this one I put on recently, and it was like a very British Christmas, and it's freaking terrible. Like it's awful. I watched like 10 minutes and I'm like, this is absolutely garbage. And somebody made this movie. But it felt like one of those movies in the beginning. Something about the setup, okay? And the way, because, okay, so here the setup is that Megan Ory's a journalist, and her best friend, she and her best friend usually spend Christmas together. She was raised in the foster care system, and she's been best friends with this girl who, her in real life, her name is one. She like a Madonna type of thing where she just has one name, and I don't know that I've seen her before, but I really enjoyed her. But she wants to have her friend go to this Christmas village place for, this for vacation that is like getting immersed in like in a Christmas movie. So once she starts talking about this, like I'm in, because it's very meta, of course, because we're watching a Christmas movie and this is going to be them going to a place that is like a Hallmark town, right? And then it's called Christmas Land. And then I kept thinking, was Christmas Land the name of that movie with Nikki DeLoach? And is it Luke McFarlane who's in that one? And like, is this supposed to have anything to do with that? So I was a little distracted by that. But anyway, and she keeps begging her to go, and she keeps telling her no. And there was just something about the whole opening to me that was just like, again, this feels like it's not going to be a good movie. And also, I was biased because I didn't make an Ori, and I'm thinking of the shopping movie, right? So I, so weirdly though, wound up enjoying this movie, and I'm not sure I understand exactly why. So the male lead is her husband in real life. I found out is Megan Ory's husband in real life, and I don't think I've watched him in anything before, and I liked him, and I think that is part of what I liked is that I enjoyed him, and I enjoyed their interaction, and I enjoyed the idea of this town, and his mom who runs the inn and whatever. And then they kill me with a love interest for her best friend, because they bring this man in and he looks like he could be her father. And so I went and looked him up, and I want to say he's born in like 72 or 74. Like, he's younger than I am, not by much, but I can't find out how old she is anywhere. And I want to say Megan Ory in real life is like 40, so let's just say she's supposed to be 40, but in a movie like this, they're really probably supposed to be 35, and this guy looks like he's 55 years old. Like, the way that he carries himself and the way that he dresses, and I was like, this is getting an award for worst, most distracting casting in a Hallmark movie of the year. Like, hands down. And I wondered, am I just making like too big a deal of this? Is this like, am I tripping? And then I put this video on at work, and I showed every single coworker who was with me at the time, and they said he looks like he could be her dad. So I don't think that I was tripping. I think that I am correct about that. Terrible casting. He's not terrible. He's not a bad actor. It has nothing to do with him, but casting him as her love interest made absolutely zero sense whatsoever, and it was so distracting because anyway. Okay, so then this movie gets a little bit confusing, because then there's this whole thing about she's thinking that are these things fake? Are they just put on because this is a town where they want you to have this kind of experience, and or something's real, and it turns out that this is kind of a setup or something. I don't know. Guys, the point is, it doesn't matter. I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed being with these people. I enjoyed the stuff that they did. I don't understand why. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.75, I think, because I don't think I think that terrible casting, and that it is really, I mean, it is a Three Iced Peppermint Mochas is like it's a movie, and you could watch it and it's fine and fold your laundry. So 3.75 for a movie like this to me is pretty high praise, and I think I'm going to go with that, and I may change my mind later, but let's do 3.75 for now. Okay. Um am I almost done? Do I only have the Finish Line to talk about? Let me look. Hold on a second. It's the last one, the Finish Line. Save the best for last. Guys, this movie was the surprise winner of Thanksgiving weekend for me. Okay, so here's the thing. I love Kim Matula because if you watch my stuff, I've talked about this a million times. Ghost of Christmas Always was my favorite the year that it came out 2 years ago. It is going to remain one of my favorite Hallmark Christmas movies, or Christmas movies period, of all time. And I haven't had a chance to put it on again this year, but I am going to find it. I'm going to put it on because I absolutely love that freaking movie. So I think that was the first Kim Matula thing that I saw. And then last year we had Checking It Twice, which I don't even think I gave a 3 because I found it boring and it was really sad. It made me really sad. So I'm so happy that not only did Kevin McGarry come back this year in Tis the Season, that's not Tis the Season, A Reason for the Season with Taylor Cole, which got a 5 Iced Peppermint Mochas. We have Kim Matula back this year in The Finish Line, which gets a full 5 Iced Peppermint Mochas. I love this movie. I was like, okay, guys, there's gonna be snow, there's gonna be like dog sleds, okay, sure, okay, but damn, y'all, love this movie. So part of the reason is Kim Matula is fantastic in this movie. She's great. Her best friend is played by a lady whose name I can't remember, of course, but I loved her as Cheyenne in Superstore. She's fantastic here. I don't think she's ever been in a Hallmark movie. She's great. And then the guy who plays Kim Matula's cousin who is really, he's not Finnish. I want to say he's like Icelandic or something, but he's Scandinavian. Is so funny. That character is it's laugh out loud hilarious, okay? And then we have Bo Mishoff. I don't know how you say his last name. Guys, he is so handsome and so charismatic. Like, I saw the one that he was in, and I think it was him and Hunter King. It was a summer movie or something, I want to say. And I liked him in that because I remember looking him up, like, who is this guy? This guy is like, talk about like, he is perfectly cast to be the love interest here. To be a journalist who, okay, so the setup, I'm going to tell you like the setup just because I really want you to watch this movie. So in case you don't know what this movie is about going in, the deal is that Kim Matula's dad was a famous dog sled racer guy, okay? And he had this famous last race that he lost to this guy whose name, of course, I can't remember. And Kim Matula is going to get a chance to, and this is what she has devoted her life to, is doing the same thing that her dad did. And she is going to get a chance to race against the guy who beat her dad, and basically like, to honor his legacy or something like that, because both of her parents are gone. And the guy who plays her adversary is also hilarious. He is a great character. He is not just like some boring, he is not a boring one-dimensional villain by any stretch of the imagination. He is so much fun as a villain. He is terrific. It's so good, you guys. It's so funny. It might be, I don't know, maybe I laughed more doing watching Three Wise Men and a Boy, but I'm not sure. It's neck and neck. This movie I found so entertaining. I loved Kim Matula and Bo Mishoff together. I love the cute little, oh my god, her cousin is so funny, so adorable. The little thing that he and, I'm gonna call her Cheyenne because I can't remember her name. The little thing that they have going is great. And even like this news reporter who they keep showing, who's like reporting on the race, is also hilarious. Like, bravo. What? I don't know who wrote this movie. I don't know who directed this movie, but this is probably immediately going to be like, it's way up there for me, guys. I don't know. This might be like number 2 because I don't think anything can knock out my 5-Year Christmas, because that is emotionally like, I don't know how. I don't think anybody's going to take that place. Pretty sure, but this is like right up there. And I was so surprised because I did not expect that to happen. I did not expect the winner of Thanksgiving weekend to be a movie called The Finnish Line, Finnish. And yet here we are. So please go watch this movie if you haven't watched this movie. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you thought about any of these movies. If you think I'm crazy because I couldn't get into a Chris Palaha, Lacey Chabert movie or Holiday Touchdown, go ahead and tell me, because maybe you're going to tell me something that's going to make me rethink my life choices and watch these again. Oh, god dang. I mean, I really need to. It probably won't be till after Christmas though, because I got too much stuff to do, and I haven't really even started watching the movies for this week yet. So, and it's already Saturday night, and even though I'm off, I'm working tomorrow. So, I'm on vacation, but I took an overtime shift. So, yeah, still got a lot to do. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you stayed here for this whole thing, I don't even know how long this is going to be. I hope that I hurry up and get this posted so that I can get on to posting all of those other things that I haven't posted but have been filmed and are just sitting either in my camera or sitting on my computer waiting to be uploaded to my editing program. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you like my sign. I'm pretty excited about it. I feel like a professional YouTuber with it. Except a professional YouTuber that doesn't get paid or will never get paid, because it's not going to happen. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye.